Get ice.
Everybody, hello.
Ice tray.
I just want to talk right off the
and try to
bat.
steal ice.
I want to talk about something that I like to call ice etiquette, and
Yeah.
it's that's
He said he has awful ice etiquette.
she was using her thumb so that I could not get the ice out of the ice tray. She was getting other ice
No,
out of the ice
because
tray.
he
and
stole
she was
the
holding
ice
your
from
thumb.
me, and then he literally took ice out of my cup.
No, that's what you did. You were accusing. You are Trump. You're accusing me of doing things that you did.
Yeah.
You took ice. I put ice in my glass. She took that ice cream out of my glass and put it in her own glass.
You know what? You
But
know what?
what
You
he
two.
says.
You know what?
Yeah.
I now live in an apartment
Ice
with
now.
a freezer, but there's no automatic ice maker.
I know.
Oh my
I'm
God.
sorry to rub it in your face.
I know. Yes, I know. It's been a tough few years. I'm getting.
One of the
Literally worst thing
topics.
that's ever happened to anybody.
We were recently in the Bahamas and we had an ice maker. That's one of the topics we're going to cover.
Oh, okay, yeah, good.
I mean, he has a whole list. None of it involves AI.
None of it's AI. It's just
Well, AI is peripherally a part of all of our lives, obviously, all the time.
Oh my God.
yeah.
And we will talk
Yeah,
about. We will be talking about self-driving cars today. We will. We'll be talking about that.
Lost him.
That's AI.
What?
So
Save
he disappeared.
it. Save
Are
it.
you HRing right now? Are you HRing right
Save
now?
it for the pod.
Are you
I am.
HRing?
Fiddler, when you retire, are you going to get us each a podcasting studio?
Well, you can consider yourself to have received probably complimentary HR attire. It could be anything. Shoes,
Okay. What
socks.
exactly does that mean?
What?
Yeah.
The puppets weren't enough. We need more.
Yeah.
Yeah, the puppets, frankly, the puppets.
Oh,
just like it is.
you know what it was? The camera button.
Oh my God.
Wow. I'm going to ask this question, and I want a serious answer. Are you on drugs? Are you on drugs right now?
You know.
Because I
How would you define? How would you define a drug?
Weed or mescaline or mushrooms or acid or Molly or
Yep,
heroin.
I am quite a drug.
Not that one, but yeah,
Crack
molecule
cocaine.
is your drug.
I'm
Is that what you're
Angel
saying?
dust.
Is
Which we
molecule
tried-
your drug?
Yes,
Case.
definitely. Yes, she is. Obviously, she is.
And
You might have had
yours?
Molly, but if you ever had Molly on Molly on Molly,
I've had Molly on Molly on Molly.
I may have been in the area to witness it.
Oh, that's a good point.
whoa,
Yeah,
we really should have said
wow, I didn't know I didn't know you were witnessing it. I would have performed better, frankly. I would have lasted longer. I would have tried harder.
I really want to trust Fiddler.
I expected worse. I expected worse.
Yeah, that's
And
true. That's
you
true.
delivered. You delivered.
Do you notice his tan? Look at that tan on that.
Look at this tan.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
at this tan.
Oh, nice.
Huh?
That is
I
nice.
got- I got a beach
Take
tan.
your shirt off. Let's see. Full body
It's pretty
tan.
white.
Let's see
It's
it.
pretty white. It's still pretty
Ah,
white.
the
It's
whole
still pretty
thing.
white.
It's hard to tell the-
I got the headphones.
It's hard to
on.
tell the
I got
partition
headphones
between
on.
the neck.
He's just trying to get you naked.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Oh, yeah.
It's not bad.
That's a pretty good color.
And he had his
bad.
shirt off a lot too.
I did have my shirt up quite a bit.
I don't know if were any of those shirtless pictures sent around.
No pictures.
We'll
were
I'll
taken.
send you some.
Thank you. It would be appreciated.
I'm not sure there were shirtless pictures
I
taken.
think you
there
were
this
shirtless with the pigs, but you had a phone dangling on your neck.
year. Did I even get any? Were there any pictures of me with the pigs? I know I have pictures of you with the pigs in the Bahamas, but I'm not sure if there's any pictures of me with the pigs.
I didn't bring out my phone, so.
Yeah, I don't think anyone managed to snap a picture of me with the pigs.
Oh, I'm
Let,
sorry.
let me ask you
Alright.
two a
Oh, there
question.
probably is actually. There is. We'll get them from my friends.
Oh right, yeah, there is for sure. Yeah, there's a group photo where I'm in it, and I am
Do you-
topless.
That is good. That is good. Do you think AI
That is
could
good.
take that picture of you?
And make me
Or
look
you're-
not as like one of those fishes that washed up from the deep ocean that looks like it hasn't seen the sun and like yeah.
No, I don't know. I was thinking more of just drawing in a picture of the pig. So it looks
Yeah.
like you're holding the pig in the picture.
Huh.
He never held a pig. That's true. He never even did that.
I petted a pig and I fed a pig, but I
He
did
pet a
not.
pig and he fed a pig. I held a pig.
You held the baby pig.
Yeah, it's still a pig.
Good to clarify.
I'm just saying. You look like you're holding a full pig. Because those things are pretty
I know
big.
you're pro-choice, but a baby pig is still a pig.
It's true. I support abortion up to 12 trimesters. 12 trimesters.
A pig has 16, so it's not very far.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got back from the Bahamas. Are we jumping right into the Bahamas trip? Because I have a whole splash screen that the AI created for us. That's called the Bahamas
get
trip.
it on the screen.
Yeah, take a look at it. You can take a look at it now. I put it up there. It's the Bahamas trip. It is.
Oh yeah. What? There's people swimming.
There's a few people swimming.
Nice water.
There's a shark. We'll get to that. We'll get the molecule almost being eaten by a shark. That is one of the topics for today's podcast. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. If I didn't command her to get out of the water, she would have been bitten, not eaten whole. So that wasn't a giant shark.
Sure, honey. Whatever you say.
Let's
get
into it.
More like our friends got almost eaten by a shark.
You were also in the water when the shark was circling.
I was about 10 feet from a giant shark.
Yeah, that's not a lot.
And I saw it underwater.
What do you think your chances are fending off the shark?
Well, let's be clear. She wasn't going to get eaten by the shark. It wasn't big enough to eat her whole. It wasn't like a giant shark.
It was a big ass shark though.
But a shark that could have taken a chunk out of her leg or something like that. You know what I mean? The chances of fending off a bite from a shark are very low. Dying from a shark, yeah, it's not going to kill you probably, but getting bitten, that's a much bigger chance.
Although it wasn't like we were just on the beach, like it was going to be like a whole situation to get to any type of help.
Yeah, we were about an hour by boat from any sort of medical help.
I see.
So if you got a significant cut, like in your leg, or it hit one of your major arteries, you could have died. The shark, is not going to eat you whole, and it probably would have bitten you. Realized it doesn't like white meat. Swam off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It'll teach you to hydrate more.
Well,
that's true. That's true. He's not wrong there.
I'm not sure. Why don't you explain that connection between hydrating more?
Well, if you're hydrated, you're more likely to survive a small shark bite than if you're dehydrated.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess that.
That's true.
I guess that makes sense.
Is this an AI picture of the Bahamas?
It is. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's an
that fucking shark is hilarious.
I know.
But I gotta say, other than there was no like beach chairs and stuff, that actually looks a lot like the location we were at.
Oh, was that beach chair? I didn't realize that was beach chairs down there. Yeah,
where there's beach chairs and
there were no beach chairs.
It's actually very, very similar because
I know
there was it coved around like that. There was How did you even get that? That's just fucking.
I just asked for a Bahamas beach pic with some sharks and it provided that. I added the boat.
As we discussed what happens, we can use this as a map.
Right, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because it's damn good.
I added the boat. I added the swimmers. It came up with the beach and the sharks. And the way that it gave us 4, and I selected one that was closest to what I remember from that.
I love it. Yeah, I'm impressed.
So what happened? We it was like our
third.
There's
only one shark.
Well, I'm not convinced of that. Yeah, I saw a couple of different shadows.
I think it was one of them was a rock.
So as we got up, it was our second after the pigs. I think it was our second one, right? It was our second excursion on the boat. The first day. Was it the first day we were there? The second day.
Second day. The first day they went on a fishing trip.
Right. No, that was the second day too, wasn't it?
No.
Huh.
But we arrived on a Tuesday, and we went on this excursion on a Thursday. I don't think this matters.
Oh, yeah, so Wednesday is the first full day.
Yeah, the details matter. I would like to know the day of the week. Yes.
It was a Thursday.
Yeah, I was thinking
what did you have for breakfast?
That's a good question.
Tell it all.
What did we have for breakfast?
breakfast sandwiches because nobody else eats fucking breakfast.
Let's set the stage here. We went with 3 other couples. and one of the couples, got the entire place. We didn't have to spend any money for the place. It was like a 5-bedroom, right? 5-bedroom house.
5-bedroom. Every bedroom has its own bathroom.
I think it was like something. It was like $12,000 for 5 days, something like that. It was like an insane amount of money.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, everything. Have you ever been to the Bahamas, Fiddler? Because like everything is like, I think a thing of Cheez-Its was like $14.
I've been to the Bahamas, and I too remember the prices being a little. I was like, oh wow, they're pretty high.
Yeah. A 6-pack, a 12-pack of LaCroix was $15.99.
That's insane.
The LaCroix 12-pack.
I guess it's hard to get a lot of deliveries down.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess that's what we're paying for, obviously. But crazy.
So we went there with 3 of the couples. There was 8 of us total. They were all. Each one of those was Molly's friend. I didn't know them. I didn't know them really that well. You've gone through 2 New Year's with them. Yeah, right. I met each of them, but just not
just one, actually.
Like no hand jobs were given to each other yet.
Well, let's save that for the rest. Let's save that.
That's it.
Just wait.
Definitely not prior to this trip. Not prior to this trip.
Yeah.
That I'm aware of. I don't. Maybe that might have happened.
But you had met 2 out of the 3 couples.
Yeah, I don't think any of them like me. I liked all of them. I don't think any of them like me, and that's fine. I don't need to be liked.
That's really fucking dumb, and that's not true.
And by the way, until this trip happened.
No, pretty much exact opposite.
That's a stupid fucking thing to say.
It's just a sense that I got. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I like each of them. I don't care. It doesn't affect whether I like someone or not, whether they like me. So
I know, but I don't even understand why you're saying that. So go ahead, talk about something else.
So it was
stupid.
So one of them reminded me of you, Fiddler. It reminded me of you. It was like he was like a different like an alternate reality version of you.
Yeah.
I think that's
happened?
Also not true. I have no idea why.
Molecule doesn't agree.
All right. Hey! Imagine there's a little tricking going on. I mean,
because
there's a lot of
weed
smoking.
That's the only similarity.
The first thing we did within an hour of landing on the island, well, an hour of all of us being together. No. An hour of most of us being together.
Did we go on the same trip?
Within an hour of leaving the airport, let's put it that way. We spent a significant amount of time at the airport. Within an hour of leaving the airport, we had procured weed.
No,
that's
nice.
True.
Yeah, within an hour.
Almost within, 5 minutes.
I mean, it was only a matter of that we had to drive 40 minutes to get it.
I know, but he tried to get it from the rental car guy.
That's true. They
just wanted Bohemian money, and that's the only reason he couldn't get it from
and he only had American cash. We let's just say we instead of let's not name the person who procured the weed. It was all of us. It was a group effort.
Did I name a person?
No, I'm just saying. Let's not put it on one person. But 2 of us went to get the weed, and I offered my immoral support. I was going to go. I was going to help, but Molecule was like, "No, you are not fucking going to help get the weed." So I couldn't go. I couldn't help.
I'll stand by that decision.
Yeah.
Was did everyone in the group smoke weed?
No.
But the people that didn't, they weren't opposed to it?
Yeah, nobody was opposed to it. To get it. Even though it's technically illegal on the island unless it's unless you can cite a religious need for it.
Yeah.
It's illegal. So, it was a little sketchy.
All right, you're doing something.
Yeah, let's just call him D, since you're all weird about names. D did not give a shit, dude. He was like, he asked the rental car guy. That's literally before we left the airport.
Oh, really?
And then one of our first stops was to the liquor store and the grocery store. And the liquor store, he's asking he bought a glass pipe. Was asking about how to fill it up. And that's
they
where
told him exactly where to go. Yeah.
Told him a local connection.
Yeah. And by the way,
nice.
when we say local, it was really local. It was very folksy. You know what I mean? Where we went.
Yeah, it was like she told us go across the street from the laundromat, like really local. Go to this place. I didn't allow Case to get out of the car.
I wanted to go with them. I wanted to experience buying weed in the Bahamas. I
couldn't. Not enough. Three's a crowd. 2 people.
You had to take that experience away from him.
Yeah, I was prepared. I was prepared to rush in if necessary.
Like a fucking basketball team to walk up looking for fucking weed, dude. Like 2 people is enough. So they walk up.
That's a good point.
And apparently D, whoever we're calling him, I don't know. Let's say Dan.
What does D stand for?
Dan's better.
Dan? It was Dan.
No. Let's say go back to D. Let's go back to D.
Dan's a lot easier to say. Okay. Dan walked up.
I don't remember a Dan.
Anybody want to sell me some ganja?
You're making a fake name, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody want to sell me some ganja? And these fucking black dudes looked at these 2 white dudes and were like, "Nah, we don't know."
But let's be clear. It's like mostly black people. It's a Caribbean island. So it's not like
but it's also because actually, I guess Jay is technically not. He's Hispanic, so but he kind of looks white.
He's pretty damn white, honestly. He's pretty white.
He's half Hispanic. Whatever.
What? By the way, I never found this out. What Hispanic is he? Mexican?
Who cares? So they turn around.
I care.
And they leave. They walk out. And then I was watching this whole thing kind of happen like in the van because we were just right there. And then this guy comes out and he was like, "Hey, Whitey."
Yeah. Here's your weed. And
talking to Dan.
Talking to Dan. And he brought him back in and they got their weed. And that shit was swag. Like I hadn't seen in a long time, like stems and seeds and everything.
Yeah, it was rough. It was pretty rough stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It was rough.
It
was hard. Trying to smoke. It was harsh.
Yeah.
He bought the weed, which, he bought the weed.
How much weed have you consumed before we went on this pod? I don't think any actually.
I don't have any flour, but I do have an edible.
Oh my god! Did you hit your like? Oh, you ate your edible.
No, nice.
I can fucking tell.
Pure edible. Oh yeah.
Always a good addition for the
pod. Exactly.
If you just want fucking radio silence, I guess.
That was 1 hour, and only an hour just because we had. It was like I don't know. You got to the Bahamas, Fiddler, you said, right? But what island did you go to? Probably Nassau.
I think that's the one.
Yeah, we were on Exuma, which
Nassau?
is basically
holy shit.
Which is basically one long road, and it was like an hour and a half from the airport to the house.
Oh wow!
Normally, it would have been normally an hour and a half if the driver wasn't an insane
driver.
If he wasn't insane and just like flying as fast as humanly possible, and it took us 35 minutes, it should have been an hour and a half.
Wow. Did you guys ever feel scared?
Yeah. Well, let's set the stage here, okay? We rented a van. She said car rental, but it was a van. It was it fit all of us comfortably with 2 extra seats. Something. Yeah, there were 2 extra seats. So it was long. 2 by 2 by 2 by 2. You know what I mean? 5 seats basically from the driver, and then 4 behind them. And we were in the far back, and so every bump was like.
Really
the back of it was, and they felt bad because at the end, by the last couple of days, they were like, "Oh, we'll sit in the back instead of you."
It was crazy. Like a road not really big enough for 2 cars, but just barely. But then full of fucking potholes everywhere.
And by the way, left side of the road driving. Left side of the road driving. So that added a little extra element to it. So I count a part of it as a near-death experience. Yeah, and we could talk about near-death experiences.
I honestly agree with that because there were some times.
There was a moment where
this is how we die.
There's 3. We'll talk about this in a future pod, but there's 3 elements to a near-death experience. One is you have to have the feeling of near-death, and if you haven't had that feeling, then that's great. I envy you. Well, if you have, we know what that feels like. You get that feeling. Anyway, let's move on. So so it would have been an hour and a half drive. It was only about 40 minutes.
He is still exaggerating, but we made it in 30. It should have been like a 45-minute drive.
Oh wow! So he was fucking booking.
And these curves come out of fucking nowhere.
Right. He was like, straight road. But I gotta hand it to him. We survived it. You know what I mean? So that's good. We survived it.
It's true. I don't know if I did, but.
Well, it's fine. Yeah, so it was the exact optimal amount of speed
We were very
versus
much
danger. You know, there were no accidents. There were no accidents. So
surprising, huh?
Yeah, no, yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess he's a good driver.
Surprised,
but what happened was, like 5 minutes before we got into the van, his wife, was telling us about the numerous times that they were left driving in Ireland and got in like a dozen accidents. They basically totaled the rental car. They bought so much insurance on the rental car that they stopped caring after a while because the minimum was.
Yeah, they paid like $1,000 for like full coverage or some shit, and like just didn't care.
So once they met the minimum, they just banged into everything. So like they already set the stage.
I know. I was thinking about that. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Was the ride back to the airport just as crazy?
Well, here's the funny thing: there's a couple times where, like, for like 10 or 15 minutes, there was somebody in front of us. You know, so we had to slow down.
Oh, every time there was somebody in front of us, I relaxed. So
yeah, it was like a normal ride. It was like a normal ride, you know what I mean? Because he couldn't. But a couple of times he sped up and passed someone that was in front of us. But if there was like more than one person in front of us, we had a normal, relaxing ride to and fro.
Oh, is that it? Is that the picture of the picture? Is that it?
Picture of a Polaroid picture.
Yeah, we had Polaroid pictures from the trip.
Oh yeah,
which the listeners cannot see.
That's whatever. Nobody's listening.
Yeah, that's
go.
No one's responding. No one's in the chat at all. So where were we going with this? Are we talking about the shark? Oh, cool. Fiddler, you must have some questions. Give us a question. Let's go with the question. Yeah. And we'll get back to the shark story. We'll get back to the shark story soon.
Now, here's the thing. I haven't read any of these questions. I simply I used
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
All right, well now we're back with AI being a part of the show. F you, Molly.
Wait, you asked him?
Hey, questions are ready.
Nice, sir. Let's do it. Let's hear it. Question number 1.
Well, this is how these were generated.
Okay.
First, I said that some people went to a trip to the Bahamas,
right,
and asked them some questions about the trip, and they're returning.
Some random ass people, not your friends or anything.
Yeah. Okay. I said, and then
of course.
Well, it's kind of this is where it relates to you two. I said, but they live in Tallahassee.
I'm not sure that's important at all.
That's very
I'm really not sure that's important. Wow.
And then I said, then they gave 20 questions, and I was like, that's good, but a lot. And then I had asked, I said, limit to 5 questions and make them a tad uncomfortable to answer.
Jesus Christ. That's exactly what I would expect out of you, Fiddler.
Yeah.
Good job.
But I bet you that the AI pushed out and didn't really make those questions that hard.
Well, we're gonna find out.
We'll be all reading them at the same time for the first time.
This is perfect.
Now, which one do you want to go with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, I think we should start with 1. Since we have
no idea.
We have no idea what the order they might be in.
They're in a random order.
Right. So why not start with 1? Why would we start with any other one?
All right. Was there anything about the trip that didn't live up to your expectations?
Oh, that's a great question.
Even if it's something you wouldn't usually admit?
Oh, shit.
I mean, the ride around. I think we kind of already answered that.
The ride around.
What was your expectation of that? I guess I had no expectation of riding around the island.
Driving with somebody who didn't go fucking 20 miles per hour over whatever speed limit it might have been. That would be nice.
Did you see there were other kind of like laws just being what would appear to be being broken all the time?
No, I don't think so.
Just the driving.
And the drugs.
I mean, and I guess the weed smoking.
The weed smoking. Yeah. I consider that to be a quarter crime. You know, it's mostly legal.
I don't think. I think it's pretty much decriminalized at this point.
Yeah,
you'd have to like really be like.
They tried to say they tried to say that it apparently got legalized a week before or something. We couldn't find anything on that.
There was no.
I'm sure. I think that's good. That was timely.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
Timely.
Case immediately looks that shit up, and he's like, I don't see anything about this.
Yeah, he said nothing about it at all. I'll answer that question honestly. I think
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think the house itself. I thought there were it was very expensive, and there were numerous issues with it, and the AC was amazing. The AC was perfect. There's nothing you cannot, and that's the most absurd thing. So that's fine. That was amazing. You cannot fault that. There was no part of the house. Well, actually, at night, at some point, it did get really sweaty every night. At 3 in the morning.
It was kind of strange. It's like we'd go to bed, and it was like there was a little bit of wetness in the air, but by the middle of the night, it was cold. So
yeah,
that was weird.
Yeah, it was odd. It was like you
it was
sweaty.
Room, actually.
But Josh Jay said the same exact thing.
Definitely not Josh.
No, not to Josh. We know it's not that.
Yeah, obviously. He was mentioning the same thing, and I felt it too. And I was like, "Yeah, oh my god, I didn't even think about it." But also, the oven was like this, and listen, I guess first of all, you had to remove and place out every appliance every time you wanted to use it, which is I get it. It's this rich thing where everything's got to look completely, there's nothing out,
right.
because that's a poor person thing. But what it translated to is me having to fucking take out the coffee maker every morning to make coffee. And then plug it in.
Yeah,
and then put it back. What?
Who was putting that shit away?
Somebody was making it seem rich and pristine every night.
Yeah.
It wasn't me. Toaster. Yeah, same with the toaster. If it was up to me, I would have laid everything out. But you know what? There weren't even enough plugs to put everything in anyway. You couldn't make toast and coffee at the same time.
Yes, you could. There were two.
You'd have to put it on opposite sides. You'd have to put it on opposite sides of the fucking.
But there were two on each side, so there was four.
Yeah, but that's true. But then it'd look even weirder. I'm just saying, but someone kept putting them away. It was supposed to be put away all the time.
So it's an ideal kitchen if you like to be tortured.
It's definitely if you basically it was an amazing kitchen if you had someone else cooking all your food. If you're paying someone to cook all your food and they had to be tortured, it's perfect.
I guess the oven was weird. Yeah.
The oven, both the oven itself and the stovetop, where you cook. Because I made pancakes. I made pancakes one night for everybody. Each of the burners had a different fucking thing that you turn it to. One was high, this was high, but in the other one, the same thing. That same setting would be low simmer. And it's what the? You gotta memorize which one.
So sharp.
That was really sharp. Yeah, it's it was like torturing the people who were cooking, basically.
Yeah,
that's basically what it was.
That's funny.
And the house itself, was to me, Molecule disagrees, but to me, the couch was not very comfortable at all.
I thought it was comfortable.
I was struggling to figure out a way to sit where it was if you're on the corners, it's fine, but if you're anywhere else, it's the whole time.
Don't get me wrong, I'm a couch snob. I mean, and most couches are just ass. They're just terrible.
I think
maybe.
The couch is fine.
I disagree. I disagree, but that's fine. I'm giving. This is my answer, Mo. You gave your answer, and it was a drive over. I don't know what expectations you had about a drive. I had no expectations.
I agree, and I will tell you where I disagree. And I disagree here. Continue with all your
not living up to my expectations. I thought the house. I looked at it.
Continue with your bitching about your free accommodations at the Bahamas. Go ahead.
That's why you save it for the pod.
I'm not saying that I wish we had a better place or anything like that. This is a reflection of the Bahamas life in general. I think the place, the entire island is designed this way. It's it's we build these extra expensive places and for the latest fads or whatever, and people will pay a lot of money for that, obviously. And then you look outside of that, and the houses are like shacks. There were people who were living literally in shacks. Where we parked next to the laundromat was what was called a full service massage parlor. Right next to the laundromat where we park.
Full service.
Yeah.
And no fucking around there.
Yeah, no question about that. It literally said full service with shot fire. Now, it looked like a little warehouse. I don't know what the inch. There was no like fancy, facade of it or anything like that. It looked exactly the same as the laundromat, which was basically just a fucking like a little tiny like shack.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of that is these ultra high end places where like. Yeah, so
this entire island only has a population of 7,000, so it's small.
Oh, is that right?
Wow.
It's like, it's spread out, I guess, but the population is very low.
Yeah, but everybody was amazing. Like the locals were just everyone we met from top to bottom. They were all amazing.
Oh yeah.
I've never felt safer anywhere, including the United States. Like it's a safe.
Yeah.
Even when we were in the shittiest parts to buy drugs, I never felt unsafe.
I see.
Except by police, that was like the unsafest that I ever felt. Like maybe the police will take an interest or some shit. But like the locals, like I never felt like they would try to rob our friends or anything like that. It's none like that didn't even cross any of our minds.
Yeah.
People were great. For everyone we met, everywhere. It was even like when we were waiting at the what they call the airport lounge.
Because the two main people, Dan and his wife, were who were hosting us in the trip. Their trip actually got canceled from Tampa.
Yeah, so they had to reschedule it. So we were there. We had to wait for them for a couple hours.
But they were only 2 hours late in the end.
Yeah, it was fine. But we were at the airport lounge, which was across the street from the airport. And it was literally just a bar, I say bar, but it's like a totally you would consider it a dive bar, in other circumstances.
It had money. It had dollar bills, like taped onto every single surface.
A lot of
those kind of places. Yeah,
oh, really?
All written on.
Yeah. And but the food was amazing. I got jerk chicken. Awesome. The food was great. It was just made by this little old lady in the back. She was like cooking it all. She called my name and I didn't hear her, I guess, and she got a little upset at that. It's like, I called your name 3 times. And when the dude called me, I heard him. But I mean, it was loud in there. I didn't hear it. I don't know.
Yeah. Like coleslaw, rice and peas, sweet plantains. It was amazing.
It was really
shrimp.
Good.
Yeah. It was a lot of food, too.
And the food the entire time was amazing.
It really was.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
we never had a bad meal.
And the first day, the 3 of the people on our trip went out on a fishing charter, and so we ate a lot of the fish that they caught.
Right, that's true. Yeah.
Oh,
so that was awesome.
They caught it like the day before, and we cooked it. They cooked it. I didn't. They cooked it on the grill.
Even that night. No, we ate even that night they caught it.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
What kind of fish?
Oh, that's a good question. They said it, but I don't remember.
Redfin, maybe.
Redfin.
I don't know. I'm making that up. I honestly can't remember.
Did they butcher the fish when they got
the guy? Did. Their guides did.
That was part of what they paid for.
Yeah,
they cleaned it up for them.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Oh yeah.
Because every fish is different.
Yeah.
So it's like
right.
You'd get
right.
Oh yes, they are.
Bones fucking in
or you'd waste a lot of it.
Or
you'll
waste.
Oh yeah.
Let the professionals handle that part.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
And they probably do it real quick too. Probably. It's like done. So yeah, I mean, I don't know why you do a fishing trip with it, but they did. They brought back a good bag. We had a lot of fish because there was some fish left over, and there was 8 of us, and there was fish left over. Like for days, we ate fish. Whole,
oh wow!
Even. And on the last night, I made pancakes for everybody.
So this is just the first question. I feel like we handled it.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'm just saying the house was great. Just because. You don't spend a lot of time in the house. We were on the beach. We were. There was a great pool. It was an amazing pool. It was one of those infinity pools where it looked like when you're sitting there, it looks like you're in the ocean because it just goes off the edge. There's no wall. It was great. The house was amazing, but because you don't spend a lot of time inside. Right. But I'm just saying, I was disappointed a little bit by the appliances and stuff like that. That's all.
Anything else not meet your expectations, honey?
Now look, I will say I'm not quite sure on the even if it's something you wouldn't usually admit. I think this would typically come up.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
Other than that, I will say diplomatically that everything else exceeded my expectations.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. But you wanted something, so it wasn't even that much of a lesser than I expected. It was just a couple little things.
It did seem like it from the explanation.
It's just a couple little things. It's just like I was surprised that it would be like you paid this much money. I thought that everything would be perfect. I thought you'd be able to press a button and it'd be like, boom, boom, like it would cook the meal for you. Yeah, I don't know.
Even when we stayed at the plaza, there was, I was standing in the bathroom and my toes were getting fucking wet because the sink was like dripping, and it was just like
exactly.
I'm in literally the plaza in New York City, and like
I'm not a big fan of the hotel.
Yeah, and my sister got caught in the elevator like twice.
Yeah, stuck in the elevator.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even then.
And then she went back.
She went back a few times.
She keeps going back.
It's a sharp.
It's another story.
It's very sharp. Some people like the sharp. So it wasn't like, I'm just saying, I would have expected perfection from the amount of money that was being paid for this place. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I expected it to be perfect. It wasn't.
You would say maybe, I hear you.
I don't know.
Okay.
It wasn't.
Are you ready?
To me. I have one more to add. to that.
All right. Is it me? Is it my behavior? Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that did suck.
We ended up with enough, but like they only had a roll and a half basically per bathroom.
For 5 days.
So like we're there for 5 days, 6 days, 5 nights.
So
what do you mean you were limited on toilet paper? Is what you're saying?
Yeah. Like if you're gonna.
No, we could have gone. We could have gone and bought more toilet paper. Obviously, we didn't even think about it though. We assumed there was enough fucking toilet paper in there.
But it's like, dude, nobody's gonna steal it. Give it 2 extra rolls per row. Nobody's stealing the toilet paper. Like, stop.
I mean,
what did you? Were you just like very?
We were fine. We were.
I ended up wiping my ass with the bed sheets. I wiped my ass with the bed sheets 3 of the time.
No, but it was. I feel like everybody was a little close.
Because there was one extra bedroom because it was 5 bedrooms.
There was a guest. There was a spare. There was a side bath, like a half bath. Also,
who got the toilet paper from the extra bedroom that wasn't being
multiple
used?
people did. That's my point. Multiple people got it from.
I think we all ended up taking it from the half bath and the extra bedroom, and we were fine.
But that's only because we didn't need to use those two bathrooms. If we had been, if it was, it would have been shitty. Literally.
It was just close. It was just like, come on, you're paying this much money, like don't.
Let's throw the fucking paper towel in there too. There should have been enough paper towels.
That's true.
We didn't even know. We were like, there was like one paper towel. We didn't have any paper towel actually. We had to call the guy and he brought a paper towel.
Yeah, no, there was none. We were supposed to have one roll as a starter, and paper towels is different than toilet paper, though. So.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely need toilet paper.
I mean, I know you're a big paper towel man.
Yeah.
Fiddler, but.
Yeah, you would not have survived this. You would not have. You would have spent. Literally, you would have spent $100 in paper towels. That's how much a paper towel roll probably cost $6 in that on that island.
I would have been on the hunt for paper towels right when I got there.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, we learned that lesson. We learned that lesson.
I probably would have got toilet paper too.
In the future, I might pack paper towel. I might pack paper towel and toilet paper.
Ended up with an extra roll and a half of paper towels that we left there. So.
I'm going to check a bag, nothing but paper towels and toilet paper.
That's it. Anything to claim? Nope. Just trying to have a need in the kitchen.
Yeah, exactly. Not trying to sell it. I'm just fucking trying to stay clean with my ass. That's how I'm trying to do it.
Personal use.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, next question.
Next question number 2, generated by the AI. We're all here for the same time. This is the Circuit Breakers podcast. In case someone's just listening for the first time, we are affiliated with the Circuit Keeper group, the Reddit group that's a religion based on AI. Welcome. Fiddler, you got the floor.
Did you experience any culture shock or find anything awkward about interacting with the locals?
All right, that's a great question.
No, I don't know. I'm trying to think. No, I don't know. They all spoke English.
On the last day, we tried to buy gas. and there was a long line for gas. And by the way, Molecule had asked that we get there 2 hours early, and we were there like we barely made it to the airport. They were like, we don't need to do that. Let's do it an hour ahead. Again, it was an hour and a half drive to the airport from the house.
Yeah, there you go.
Thinks I'm exaggerating. And so, like, you know, so we were waiting for the gas.
What are you talking about? We're going to be fine.
And we had 10 minutes to spare. We had 10 minutes to spare.
And I'm like, we should go. We're ready.
And I think I would count that as culture shock because, you know, we didn't take into account the fact that, like, nobody gives a shit. You know, on some states.
Well, I mean, and you're talking about the gas station pumps from like way back in the day.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that also. But also,
the
like,
only reason it worked is because the guy who was running the pumps, because it was full service, was a fucking badass. You could tell he knew what he was doing.
But here's the thing: we spent about an extra 10 minutes in line because we were in the line with where the gas tank was on the left instead of the right.
Well, you couldn't tell though.
I had mentioned. I said it looks like everyone that's on the left side is having the gas tank on the right.
To see you drive that van and try to remove.
Everyone on the right side seems to have their gas tank on the left. There's only one person on the right side. If we pull up, they were like, "Oh, did that guy just cut the line?" I was like, no, I think that his gas tank is on the left side.
You didn't know it first.
I did. You didn't listen. That only proves that you didn't listen either. That only proves you didn't listen either.
Right.
Now, by the way, that's why you save it for the pod.
I count that as culture shock. I count that as culture shock because they didn't realize.
We really could not see the gas pumps. That's how much we didn't really know what was going on.
You could see everybody on the left line. We could see all the gas tanks on the 90% of them.
You could where you were sitting, not where I was.
Thank you. That's fine. And I assume that it was like that.
What does this have to do with
it's culture shock? Because obviously this is a weird thing where nobody does it in the United States. They're not like, oh, gas tank over here on the left, on the right. You know, this was something where it was literally like 5 or 6 cars in a line to get the only one of 2 gas stations on the entire island. You know, that's literally what it was. And it was like you had to separate based on where your gas tank was. That's a culture shock thing to me. You're not used to that shit.
Yeah,
they're not used to lines for gas.
Here, the way that you go to a pump depends on which side of your shit's on. You just don't drive much.
Yeah, but you're not waiting in line for it. That's all I'm saying.
I have definitely waited in line for gas, and that started to become important because then it depended on you could wrap the thing around your car.
So finally, after about 10 minutes, they were like, "Oh," the driver was like, "Oh, Dan. Maybe the gas tank is on the left side over here." Yeah, maybe. Great idea. And so we finally went for it.
He knew that.
No, he did not. No, that is not true.
You're misconstrued.
That is not true.
He didn't know shit.
He didn't know shit. He had no idea. I can guarantee it. I can guarantee it.
Before we were leaving.
Yeah, everyone smoked a lot of weed. I'll give them that. Yeah, he's a smart guy. He's obviously a smart dude. I'm not saying he's dumb. They're all smart. Everybody that's the great thing about this trip. Everybody was smart. Smarter than me. But in this one case, I was
including the driver?
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, of course, the driver was probably the smartest one there, which translates to, like you, Fiddler, like how smart you are, translates to a personality difference.
To give you an idea of how small this island is, we were still about a good 15, 20 minutes away from the airport.
Right,
the car that was right ahead of us in the gas line was, because we saw little kids, and one of them got in, one of them got out. Those are the same people that were on our same flight.
Oh shit!
They were also running.
I didn't think about that.
They spoke French.
You're right.
And they were right in the head of.
You're right. It was. I didn't even think about that. It was that woman. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Oh shit.
And so that's how small this island is, and that there's 2 places to get gas, and they were running late as well.
Not only are there only 2 places to get, but the other one, besides the one we were at, the other one was past the airport. So you have to go past the airport to get, and then come back. And then I was like, maybe the line's as long there. How do we know? I'm gonna go to the other airport. Maybe the line's longer. 20 minutes from the other side from the airport. Who knows?
Small island, they don't care. They're like,
and that's the other thing. This guy was great. He pumped it, But
he was very efficient.
He was great. But at the airport, the X-ray machine broke down, and the dude was just like, taking his sweet time. By the way, he didn't. I smuggled a knife on the airport. I didn't realize. I didn't know till Miami. I had a knife in my bag. That guy did not find it. He didn't find it. Yeah, he didn't find it.
We got through on our way there, also, by the way.
Yeah, that's true.
Accidental knife.
Yeah.
In and out of the country.
It wasn't big.
Airport missed it as well.
Yeah. That's right.
That's funny.
But they don't give a shit about me taking a knife to stab people in the Bahamas. They care about Bahamian people, human people coming to Miami.
This guy just puts his gloves on, and so he's kind of going
slow.
through bags.
Doesn't care how long it takes. He's slowly just going through it, not giving a fuck about how long it is.
He's used to this shit. It's like, get to the fucking airport on time, idiots.
And if every restaurant we went into, every place we did any kind of interaction, someone said, "Island time."
Oh, that's true.
Island time. So that's to me, that's a culture shock. It's like, no, they don't care if they're going to be there for 15 minutes. They don't care if you're going to be there for 20 minutes extra. And nothing. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters.
They don't care if you're late. They don't care.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you're going to miss your plane, it doesn't matter.
They didn't come pick up the boat when they were
like,
supposed to.
We don't want. We made an excuse. They just don't care. They come till like much later than they should have. So to me, that's the culture shock. Island time.
Okay, question 3.
Yeah, good question.
How much did you end up spending on the trip compared to what you had planned?
That's a great question.
Pretty much, but because we had to pay for our food and our flight, so like honestly, and everybody kept buying our meals.
Which was actually uncomfortable. That was uncomfortable.
Which wasn't getting really annoying.
Not only did people keep buying the meals, but it was always the men that did it. Which like left me in an uncomfortable position where like
I know. I go up to try to pay like our ticket and they're like, "Oh, they covered it." And I'm like, "God damn it, they did it again." And the lady just like laughs at me. You know? It was nice of them. I'm not saying
it was great. Yeah, it was amazing that they did.
But it was getting to where it's like
it was a little too like it's like I understand.
And I don't know. It's and we're talking like expensive meals. Like the one that was most expensive, I bet the bill was like $1,000. I don't know.
Oh wow!
But also, I think the one time there was a really expensive meal, and I went to the bathroom, and I think that they thought I was like getting the bill.
Oh God, really?
I think so. And I got back. It didn't even cross my mind.
This is in your head. This is in your head. Why do you think that?
It might be. That's just as good if it happened.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
This is the first time I'm hearing that.
I saved it for the pod. But
that's exactly what you say. Exactly.
I feel like people had expected that I was going to, I'm going to the bathroom. I didn't even think about it when I got back. I think
that was in your head. I really don't.
Maybe it's possible. It's definitely possible. The 50-50
now, when the bill came, did they seem shocked?
No, the one guy just immediately got the bill. He was, by the way, that guy was. I'd never met him before.
It was my friend that I've known since high school's brother.
He was him and his wife, him and his fiance. They were great. It was like maybe because they didn't know me, and I hadn't met them, and so it was like we were two completely unknowns. I really when I was cooking the pancakes. He came up. He's like, fun. "What does Chef Case need right now?" He came up to me and I was like, vodka. I was drinking vodka at that point in honor of you, Fiddler.
Very smart.
He was like, he gave me a giant glass of vodka on the rocks. He's like, what does Chef Case need? And it was great. He was obviously he was military, right? He'd been in the military, right, Miles?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he had that. Yeah, it was just great. It was great. He was great.
Wow.
And we played Taboo with him and his fiance. Who,
the four of us, and that was hilarious.
And you hadn't met her, right, Miles? You hadn't met her.
I had not.
Yeah. So you knew him a couple times, right? But you hadn't met her. It was really fun. Yeah, it was almost like a marriage counseling session at some point. I mean,
it was so great. It was like he was like something we haven't done in a long time, and then she said that, and then he's like anal. She got it was dirty taboo, and the answer was oral, but they got into a whole little scrap about
it. Oral answer would have been just as good. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't even matter.
She was like, "No, not that."
And there's one of the things was strap on, you know, and I was like, I had to read it. I was like, this is something
He's
that
just
I
so
won't
bad
let
about
you
this.
do, Mom.
He was the
I was like,
worst
this is
one.
something I won't let you do. And she goes, oh, she had no idea what it was. Because have you ever played Taboo Fiddler?
I may have. I don't know.
Somebody
trying to get
somebody
guess
from
the
the
word,
other
but
team.
there's like 5 words that you can't say on the card you're looking at.
And somebody from the
okay.
other team has to come around and audit. Like they have to look at the word to make sure you're not saying the bad word. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
So I was like, oh, it's something I won't let you do. And then his wife was like, oh, it's something I do to him. And he's like, no. He didn't know what it was, but he read it. You know, he was like, whoa.
That's right.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was great.
I don't think I caught that because I didn't know what the word was, so I didn't understand what was going on. But yeah.
So he paid for that meal, but he had also paid for the last meal before that. You know, so
No. Jay did.
Okay, all right. He had paid for the one before
Who
that.
you oddly called Josh. I don't know where that came from.
I don't know. But... Anyway, let's move on. He had paid for the one before that. He already paid for one meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, it looks like it paid for 2.
Yeah, he does.
So that was a little awkward overall. I mean, we didn't have to pay for that much because we got the house for free.
So you end up spending less than you had planned.
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
But you did send a lot of money for the fucking groceries that day.
I tried to pay. I Venmoed money for the groceries, and
we bought groceries for everybody, you know, for eight people. But we ate out like 5 meals, right, Mo?
Right.
So it was for 5 days. We went to the store and we spent, and I think you said what, 200, and that was like maybe a third of what we spent.
Yeah.
Maybe it was probably more like $800 in groceries by the end of the day.
$700 the groceries because,
yeah,
like I say, a 12-pack of LaCroix was $15.99
for 5 people. And we used most of it. We used like maybe 80% of it
for 8 people.
No.
Yeah, what I say?
Oh yeah.
You said 5.
I could see it. I guess that makes sense.
5 nights, 8 people. But it was like, but we also ate out of meals many of those times. We ate at least 5 meals.
Okay, next question.
Yeah.
Question number 4. Were there any moments when you regretted choosing the Bahamas as your vacation spot?
Oh, okay, I can answer this for sure.
First of all, it was not our decision, but
what?
It wasn't our decision that the spot where we went.
No, but we could decide not to go.
All right, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. That's what he's talking about. That's what GPT is talking about.
Yeah, answer that question, Case.
I'll say the moment when I thought Molecule was going to get eaten by a shark. I was thinking for a second, why the fuck did we come here? She's about to get eaten by a shark.
That was really crazy, I'm not going to lie.
Nah.
That was insane.
Nah.
I was just like, so if you look at the map.
We may have to save this extended commentary for the next podcast.
No, we're not going to do that. It's now or never.
We have 7 minutes. A
week from now, it's not going to be the same.
We have 7 minutes left. Go.
Well, then start a new goddamn
7 minutes
meetup.
left. Go.
Well, you're wasting right now 30 seconds.
Go! You have 7 minutes! Go! Go! You have 7 minutes! Go! Go!
Don't rush me, motherfucker. Okay, look at our map. And so we had been already on part of our excursion. I think we'd already seen the pigs. And we'd already snorkeled one spot. I think this is maybe our 3rd spot.
Oh, by the way, I want to talk about the snorkeling next episode too, because it was the first time I had snorkeled and nobody explained to me how to do it. So it's like they pushed me off the fucking boat wearing a snorkel and fucking fins, and I had no idea what to do. And for like 3 minutes, I was drowning, and no one even cared.
He was literally panicking, and
yeah, it was like 15 feet water. I had no idea what to do. I'd never snorkeled before.
Ever.
Yeah, I never put flippers on.
He didn't know how to do it. He's like,
at that moment, the flippers were actually hindering me from swimming. I didn't understand how they worked.
Well, yeah. But he asked, is anybody ever snorkeled? Apparently, Chris didn't hear that.
Well, of course I didn't hear him. You could have said my boyfriend has never snorkeled before.
Just like you didn't hear when that food is ready.
I got pushed off the boat. I didn't know what to do. For like 3 minutes, I was literally drowning and trying to figure out how to breathe.
I wasn't going to let him drown. He was fine.
You had already swam way out.
Anyway, okay. So sure. Okay, so the layout
kind of soured me on snorkeling.
Shut the fuck up. The layout of this map is actually pretty accurate, right? And that's exactly what boat was. It's like really good. And then so I'm just kind of playing. I didn't have my fins on. I just had my normal goggles. I'm playing on the other side of the boat for a little while.
Where that body is, lower on the side. Yeah, where the body is, lower down.
Other side of the but
you weren't that far out. You were about maybe
just, like,
7-8
right there,
feet.
like piddling around, looking at the beautiful sand because it's exactly how it looked in this picture.
Could you stand in the water?
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, so it was like maybe.
And so my friends, if you look to where on the beneath the T, those rocks kind of are. That's where my friends went to snorkel, and so they're like snorkeling over there. After and Case was walking on the coast.
Yeah, I was just walking on the beach. I was like looking at the foliage.
Yeah, that's exactly how it looks in this picture. It's oddly accurate. And so I start swimming from behind the boat towards those rocks to get to them, like just to go hang out with them. On my way, I'm just like, because I don't have a snorkel on, I'm just have goggles and I'm just diving in, looking all around how beautiful the water is. I just do that, and all of a sudden there's this giant fucking shark right in front of me.
Oh yeah.
Like 10 feet from me. A 5 to 6 foot giant ass shark, and I watched it come in front of me. I watched its whole body do like a 90-degree turn, and like just came in front of me and turned. And
so
then
I hear
by that time
I hear her go, whoa! So I hear something. I turn around and she's yelling to the guy in the boat, who was great. He was like, you've been doing it for decades, this dude. He was great. He was amazing. He knew his shit. She goes, there's a shark. So I immediately come to the shore and I'm like, Molly, get the fuck out of the water. Get out of the water.
I'm actively
get out of the water.
I can't get out of the water.
And you the time you said there's a shark, you should have been fucking getting out of the water. But you weren't. You were standing there talking to the guy in the boat about a shark being in the water.
I was walking towards the shore. Also, this water was so clear, I could see the shark wasn't.
Yeah, seeing you is not the problem. It's faster than you. That's the problem.
He was flipping out, dude. He was like, his arms were just like flailing through the water.
If it had turned around and really wanted to bite you, you could not have gotten out of that water in time.
I don't have time for the story, but like the guy.
We're starting a new meetup. Do it right now. Fiddler, start a new meetup.
Save it for the pod.
Why can't you do that? Why can't you start the meetup?
I have to wait X number of minutes. You do it. You do a molecule.
I don't know how to do it either.
Just go to meetup, meet.google.com and start a meetup.
Question number 5.
Go on.
Did you find yourself comparing the Bahamas to Tallahassee? and if so, which aspects did you find lacking?
That's perfect. This is perfect.
It was fucking hotter here than it was there.
It was definitely cooler and nicer.
And also we left a hurricane and went down to the Bahamas where there was no hurricane.
A lot less assholes, a lot less shitheads. The people were great.
They were. The weather was perfect. We could not. It rained like once, like 1.5.
It rained like a little bit almost every day, but it was such a small.
But
thing
when we say a little bit, like one time it was like 3 minutes of
literally like 3 or 4 minutes. But it rained all the time. But it was like
it rained really hard in the middle of the night. So.
Well, she didn't get the towels in the time. Compared to Tallahassee, it is definitely better than Tallahassee, but it is a third world country outside of outside expensive resorts.
What do you think about having like paved roads in Tallahassee and not having those in the Bahamas?
To be fair,
thing going on with like the taxes or something. They don't. People don't pay them, or I don't know. So they were talking about
some weird shit about like you don't pay taxes till the house is finished. So like a lot of houses they leave unfinished, so they avoid paying taxes.
Smart.
So like the third floor will be. They never intended to have a third floor, but it looks like it's being built, and the first 2 floors are amazingly done. But the third floor is still being built.
No taxes.
Yeah. So
I don't know enough to answer that.
Yeah, it could be an urban land.
The roads could have been a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, the roads were definitely worse than Tallahassee.
Excuse me, the road.
Yeah, the road. It was definitely worse than
the road. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that's.
But oddly enough, I think the local roads, like to the laundromat and the massage parlor next to the laundromat, while you wait for presumably for your clothes to dry, you get a rub and tug. Those roads are actually pretty great. It was the roads that you have to travel to be an asshole to get to the fucking rich ass houses. You spend.
I disagree. Right around there was where the worst pothole was. Like literally right next to that area.
Yeah, but past that area.
Like right past that area.
Right, to go on.
That was where the worst pothole was, right next to that area.
Yeah,
So
that's
Hey,
that's
look. Hey, one last thing.
Yeah.
When in doubt, and if not sure, just say, I do not recall.
We played a lot of
Sure.
games. It was wonderful, that part.
We played a lot of games, definitely.
Played a lot of games.
I just want to say in closing, that'll teach me. That's all we got.